We are back on the 2016 Cherokee, going to be doing the rear brakes today.
So to service the brakes, you go into the apps, manager, settings, then find brakes, and then it says service mode. Yes. Okay, so that should do it.
All right, some of the stuff is saying to disconnect the battery as well. That way, if something doesn't happen, you accidentally trigger that. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that advice. Just disconnect the battery. Okay, same procedure as last time. Jack it up, throw a jack stand under it so nothing happens. Gonna go a little quicker on the videos on this one. As you can see, the nut is off already. So next I'm gonna grab the caliper off, get that hung up. And so the big thing on this is gonna be that electric parking brake. So that's what I'm gonna focus on this video. Everything else is pretty much the same as the last one. So we'll get to that in a minute.
All the other wheel bearings came out with just a little bit of tapping, but that one was really stuck. I ended up using the torch to get it out. But here, I started getting things back together after the wheel bearing was finally out, and on to the calipers.
So this right here is the electric parking brake. And this was kind of the whole thing that I thought I would show you. When you're changing the caliper, you have to change this out as well. T30 for those. Hopefully you can see that. And then all you gotta do is once you get it off, just kind of wiggle it up a little bit. It pops right off. This caliper is all the way retracted. Sorry about the fan, because I put it in that mode for retraction for doing the brake job. So this is off. So I'm basically done with this because I also already took off the brake line. So here it is, kind of cleaned off. Now the other thing I already did, you're gonna need a 10, an 11, and a 12 millimeter for this to get it done. Let's see. So I kind of loosened these up already as well. And so we'll just take these off just to get this out of our way for now. So get this, and what I'm using is just a tiny bit of the, it's got a little nasty to it. Just a little bit of caliper grease. This is Permatex brand. And so just put just a little bit because there's an O-ring right here. And that's all I'm trying to do is just kind of make sure that that O-ring is lubricated. But I'm using caliper grease because, hey, this is a caliper. So when you're taking this apart, just make sure that you pay attention to where it's located. Because I suppose you could kind of screw it up. But anyway, just line it up. Once it gets on those gears and you know it's meshed on there, just give it a good push. And it should fit nice and flat and square. And just snug them up. Okay, so I had to get this fitting here cleaned up because it was spinning very tight, but now it spins nicely by hand. So we're gonna start that over and see if we can get that to start correctly. So I'm not gonna tighten this all the way up. I'm just gonna get it most of the, actually I'll probably snug it up and then I'll just back it off a little bit. There we go. Because I want to be able to leave that a little bit adjustable for when we put it together. So that is basically ready to go back together. Everything's sealed up. Just wipe anything extra off. Be careful with these little lines. You don't want to have to make new ones. So just take the time. Next thing is throw the shoes in, get this all loaded up, stick it on the car. And like always, use the old one as a reference for the new ones. So get all your brake hardware kind of laid out. Make sure you got the right stuff. And on these, they each have the little, like a wear indicator. They both have them, so it's not a big deal. You don't have to worry about getting those confused. Putting the little grease on there. Now it's going back together. Pretty much everything's the same as the other one. One thing I am going to do though is just take these out, set this off to the side, and then I'll put these on. Oops. Without that, just to make everything a little easier. So find yourself kind of a thin 17 millimeter to back this up.
Okay, just bleed the brakes like you normally would at this point, and this was a not too bad of a job. I thank you for watching. If you have done this, let me know down in the comments. Thanks.